Hey everyone, I wanted to break down last night's Flyers and Sabres game. Um, as the announcer said last night, the game was really about two teams going in two different directions. One's about a team that's been disappointing for the most part of this season. They haven't been playing to their expectations, and another is one that has been playing beyond expectations, even though fans expected the Flyers to be in first place. The manner that they're doing it has really been incredible. So wanted to break down how the game went last night and then preview tomorrow's game in Boston. So last night, Buffalo really came out strong. They had a real determination to come out and set the tone of the game. They made it seem like they had a power play in the Flyers' defensive end for the entire first period. The Flyers were just running around, chasing the puck. They were making smart plays to just even chip the puck out, even to get a line change or anything like that. There was just turnovers at the blue line, and those are just things that you can't have. And Buffalo did get some lucky bounces. They got that second goal that came off the boards, and Bob didn't get exactly to the post quick enough, but in the end, he ended up adjusting really well. So when you think, oh, the Flyers, they're down 2-0 already, they're losing to a bad team, and um, if anything, we learned from last year, it's just to continue to watch the whole game because the Flyers are just not going to give up. So slowly but surely, they fought their way back, and even Danny Briere admitted last night that they didn't play well through 40 minutes, and yet they were tied 2-2 through 40 minutes last night, and they come out and explode in the third period and get 3 goals. So it's really the difference between a winning team right now and the Flyers and a team that's really struggling. The Sabres, they've had injuries all year with Vanek and Derek Roy, and these guys just aren't panning out. Poor Ryan Miller, he's had some injuries, and he just can't seem to get any play out in front of him. Tyler Myers is pretty much by himself. He was a Calder winner last year, and it's just really been disappointing actually to watch the Sabres not play well this year because usually everyone counts them out, and you look on paper they don't have a great team. And Lindy Ruff, he's a great head coach. He always seems to get that team into the playoffs. But it was certainly nice to see the Flyers rally and get a strong win and build up that lead with the two games they have in hand on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're now within 3 points of the Vancouver Canucks, who are the hottest team in the NHL, and yet we're still only 3 points behind them, even though they've only lost one time in their last 10 games, and that was in a shootout loss to Detroit, so it's not like they lost to a slouch. So Flyers head up to Boston to play the Bruins tomorrow night. You never know what you're going to get out of Boston. They're a lot like the Flyers in the way they play the game. They're very physical. They dump the puck into the zone, chase it, and they'll just try and beat you to it and win the one-on-one battles and throw it to the net and crash it. When you have Big Z back there, I mean, Char, he's the leading guy, especially on the power play. You work the umbrella and you get it to him to try and unload that slap shot. So it'll be interesting to see who they put in the net. I'm expecting Tim Thomas, but Tuukka Rask has played well lately. They kind of have what we have in net. You have the young Tuukka Rask, like us. We have young Bobrovsky, and then they have the veteran Tim Thomas, and we have our journeyman Brian Boucher. So it's really amazing how similar these two teams are, despite how much they hate each other after last year. So you can expect Thomas and Boucher, the two veterans, to play, even though both young goaltenders have a lot of skills, and they have both been playing pretty well lately. Well, at least Bob had 38 saves last night, and even though he gave up two tough goals, he really adjusted after that. And when you have a long layoff like that, sometimes you have a tough time coming back in the first period. So he really settled down after that. When he was really showing you can see that he's been working with Jeff Reese, the Flyers goaltender coach, because every time, if you notice, when Bobrovsky seems to make a save, there's always a direction in the way he's saving it. When he's using the blocker or when he's using the pad, there's always a direction to where, with his rebound control and in terms of directing where he wants the puck to go. A lot of times he's whipped out the pad last night, and it would go right to the boards in the side in the corner, or he would or he'd use the blocker and direct that to the side of the net rather than having it thrown right on the slot. You don't see that with a lot of goaltenders his age. He's still only 22, and we saw those early flashes this year, and we thought, we have this invincible goaltender, and we've learned he's had some flaws. He's a little flawed up high, but at the same time, his quickness makes up for so much. It's just incredible to see him move across the crease. So we'll definitely we definitely have something to look forward to if we don't re-sign Boucher, or if we decide to go for a cheaper acquisition in the offseason, or if Layden even comes back. So it'll be really interesting to see. But yeah, it should be a great tilt. The season series is 1-1 right now. Both teams have won on the other's opposing rink. So that bodes well for the Flyers, at least tomorrow night. But they definitely have no fear going into Boston and trying to play their game. There's no intimidation there. So it should be a great tilt, and hopefully we can keep this streak going. We're at 4 in a row now, so hopefully it continues. So hope everyone's doing well. I'll see you later.